According to the National Electrical Code, the following methods are approved for hardwiring 120 volts under cabinet light. Firstly, electrical metallic tubing or INT. Conduit provides protection and support for the wires. It requires electrical boxes for each connection and can be used for both exposed and concealed installations. Secondly, flexible metallic conduit or BX. It is similar to EMT but more flexible and easier to work with. It requires electrical boxes for each connection and can only be used for concealed installations. Thirdly, non-metallic sheath cable or NMB. It is commonly used for concealed wiring in walls and ceilings. It is not suitable for exposed installations under cabinets and requires electrical boxes for each connection. Fourthly, Wiremold raceways. These are surface-mounted raceways that conceal and protect wires. They can be used for exposed installations under cabinets, and they require electrical boxes for each connection. It is important to note that splicing NM cable to BX cable is not permitted by the National Electrical Code. For situations where existing NM cable is accessible and there is limited space, the recommended method is to use Wiremold Model 2000 or similar raceway concealed with a 1/4-inch panel trim. The steps are as follows. 1. Remove the NM cable sheath, leaving enough slack for connections. 2. Install a Wiremold raceway over the NM cable, leaving a short length exposed at each end. 3. Install electrical boxes at each end of the raceway to house the connections. 4. Connect the NM cable to the electrical box using approved connectors. 5. Install the light fixture in the electrical boxes. 6. Cover the raceway with a 1/4-inch panel trim to conceal the wires. This method provides a code-compliant and aesthetically pleasing solution for hardwiring under cabinet lights in limited spaces. When working with electrical wiring, always prioritize safety. Firstly, ensure the power is turned off at the circuit breaker before starting any work. Secondly, use properly insulated tools designed for electrical work. Thirdly, always wear appropriate personal protective equipment, including safety glasses. Fourthly, if you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult a qualified electrician. Understanding the National Electrical Code, or NEC, is crucial for safe and compliant electrical installations. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards that govern the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment. It is updated every 3 years to reflect the latest advancements in technology and safety practices. Familiarizing yourself with the relevant sections of the NEC is essential for anyone performing electrical work. Electrical metallic tubing, or IMT, is a rigid metal conduit commonly used to protect and route electrical wiring. It is typically made of steel or aluminum and is available in various sizes. EMT provides excellent protection against physical damage and is suitable for both exposed and concealed applications. When installing EMT, use appropriate fittings and connectors to ensure a secure and watertight connection. Flexible metallic conduit, or BX, is a type of flexible conduit that provides protection for electrical wiring while allowing for bending and movement. It is often used in situations where rigid conduit is not practical, such as in tight spaces or where vibration is a concern. BX cable is typically made of steel or aluminum and has a spiral construction that allows it to flex without kinking. When using BX cable, it is important to use appropriate connectors and fittings to ensure a secure and code-compliant installation. Non-metallic sheath cable, or NMB, is a type of electrical cable commonly used for residential wiring. It consists of 2 or more insulated conductors wrapped in a non-metallic jacket. NMB cable is typically used for concealed wiring in walls, ceilings, and floors. It is not suitable for exposed installations or for use in damp or wet locations. When installing NMB cable, it is important to follow the NEC guidelines for support and protection to prevent damage to the cable. Wiremold raceways are surface-mounted channels that provide a protective pathway for electrical wiring. They are often used in situations where it is not practical or desirable to run wiring inside walls or ceilings. Wiremold raceways are available in various sizes and styles to accommodate different wiring needs. They can be used to conceal and protect wiring for lighting, power outlets, and other electrical devices. When installing Wiremold raceways, it is important to use appropriate fittings and connectors to ensure a secure and code-compliant installation. When making electrical connections, it is crucial to use approved connectors and wiring methods. Wire connectors, such as wire nuts or terminal blocks, should be sized appropriately for the gauge and number of wires being connected. All connections should be made in electrical boxes to provide protection and prevent accidental contact with live wires. When working with 120 volts electrical circuits, it is important to understand the importance of grounding. Grounding provides a safe path for electricity to flow in the event of a fault, helping to prevent electrical shock. All electrical boxes and equipment should be properly grounded according to the NEC guidelines. Grounding conductors should be connected to a grounding electrode system, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe, to ensure a reliable ground connection. When installing under cabinet lights, it is important to consider the placement and spacing of the fixtures. The light should be positioned to provide adequate illumination for the task being performed, such as food preparation or reading. The spacing between the lights should be uniform to ensure even light distribution. Consider using dimmers to adjust the brightness of the lights to suit different needs and preferences. When choosing under cabinet lights, there are several options to consider, including LED, fluorescent, and incandescent fixtures. LED lights are energy efficient and long-lasting, making them a popular choice for under-cabinet lighting. Fluorescent lights are also energy efficient, but they may not provide the same level of light quality as LED lights. Incandescent lights are the least energy efficient option and have a shorter lifespan than LED or fluorescent lights. Consider the color temperature of the lights when making your selection. Warm white lights provide a cozy and inviting atmosphere, while cool white lights provide a brighter and more focused light. When working with electrical wiring, it is important to follow all applicable local and national codes. These codes are designed to ensure the safety of electrical installations and to prevent electrical hazards. Contact your local building department or qualified electrician to obtain information about the electrical codes in your area. Always obtain the necessary permits before starting any electrical work. Electrical work can be dangerous if not performed properly. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you. A qualified electrician has the knowledge and experience to safely and correctly install electrical wiring and equipment. They can also ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and regulations. When hiring an electrician, be sure to check their credentials and references. Ask for proof of insurance and licensing. Get a written estimate of the cost of the work before starting the project. Review the estimate carefully to ensure that it includes all materials, labor, and permits. When installing electrical wiring, it is important to use the correct size of wire for the circuit. The size of the wire is determined by the amperage of the circuit and the length of the wire run. Using undersized wire can cause the wire to overheat and potentially start a fire. Consult the NEC for the appropriate wire size for your application. When making wire connections, it is important to ensure that the connections are tight and secure. Loose connections can cause the wire to overheat and potentially start a fire. Use appropriate wire connectors and tools to make the connections. Always test the connections to ensure that they are properly tightened. When working with electrical wiring, it is important to be aware of the potential hazards of electricity. Electricity can cause serious injury or death. Always take precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. Wear rubber gloves and insulated shoes when working with electricity. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before working on any electrical circuit. Never work on electrical wiring in wet or damp conditions. When installing electrical wiring, it is important to protect the wiring from physical damage. Use conduit or other protective measures to protect the wiring from abrasion, impact, or other potential hazards. Ensure that the wiring is properly supported and secured to prevent it from sagging or becoming damaged. When working with electrical wiring, it is important to properly label all circuits and equipment. This will help to prevent confusion and ensure that the correct circuits are de-energized when performing maintenance or repairs. Use a permanent marker or label maker to create clear and legible labels. Place the labels in a prominent location where they can be easily seen. When installing electrical wiring, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for all equipment and materials. This will ensure that the equipment is installed correctly and that it will operate safely and reliably. Read the instructions carefully before starting the installation. If you have any questions, contact the manufacturer or a qualified electrician. When working with electrical wiring, it is important to keep your work area clean and organized. This will help to prevent accidents and make it easier to perform the work. Remove any clutter or debris from the work area. Use a tool belt or other storage device to keep your tools within easy reach. When you are finished working with electrical wiring, inspect your work carefully to ensure that everything is installed correctly and that there are no potential hazards. Check all connections to ensure that they are tight and secure. Verify that all equipment is properly grounded. Test the circuits to ensure that they are functioning properly. When working with electrical wiring, it is important to be patient and take your time. Rushing the work can lead to mistakes and potential hazards. Focus on the task at hand and avoid distraction. If you are feeling tired or stressed, take a break before continuing. Working with electricity requires careful attention to detail and a commitment to safety. The NEC is updated regularly to reflect changes in technology and safety practices. Stay informed about the latest changes to the NEC and ensure that your electrical work complies with the current code requirements. Continuing education and training are essential for staying up to date on the latest electrical codes and best practices. There are many resources available to help you learn more about electrical wiring and safety, including books, online courses, and seminars. Take advantage of these resources to improve your knowledge and skills. Consider using a surge protector to protect your electronic devices from power surges. Power surges can damage or destroy electronic devices. A surge protector can help to prevent this damage by diverting the excess voltage away from the devices. Choose a surge protector that is rated for the amount of power that your devices consume. Regularly inspect your electrical wiring for any signs of damage or wear. Look for frayed wires, loose connections, or cracked insulation. If you find any damage, repair it immediately. Ignoring damage to electrical wiring can lead to serious hazards such as electrical shock or fire. If you have any questions or concerns about electrical wiring, consult a qualified electrician. An electrician can provide expert advice and assistance with any electrical issue. Do not attempt to perform electrical work if you are not qualified to do so. Electricity is a powerful force that can be dangerous if not handled properly. Always prioritize safety when working with electrical wiring. Remember to energize the circuit before starting any work. Use properly insulated tools and equipment. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment. Follow all applicable codes and regulations. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you. By following these safety tips, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and injuries. Electricity is an essential part of our modern lives, but it is important to use it safely and responsibly. Understanding the basics of electrical wiring and safety can help you to protect yourself and your property from electrical hazards. So, take the time to learn about electricity and follow the safety tips outlined above. Your safety is worth it. And remember, when in doubt, consult a qualified electrician.